So we're getting going on Twitter now. We've followed a few accounts and now we want to see them in our what's called a news feed. So I want to see the updates from those accounts and then decide what to do with them. Here we go. Okay, so I followed some accounts in the local Lincolnshire area. So I've got the account here, Radio Lincolnshire, and this is something that they've shared. And if I scroll down, I'll see some other updates. That's one from myself. And one from the London account that I've followed as well. Okay, so that's the news feed, and depending on how many accounts you start to follow, obviously you follow hundreds of accounts, there's far more often updates into this particular feed. So even if it's about following lots of accounts, but we'll get to how you organise who you see on Twitter later. But what I want to do now is give you a couple of options around who you follow. So I'll click on the following so we can see the three. And if I just scroll a little bit down, so now I've decided I don't want to follow the London account anymore, so I can just click on it and that unfollows the account. Now, as far as this account is concerned, because it hasn't followed me back, it probably won't even notice that I followed it amongst its 1.2 million followers that it's actually got. So it's not that much of an issue. It's really about who you're interested in keeping up to date with, and the next stage really would be when someone follows you back. So I'm going to actually do that now. I'm going to follow back from my mobile phone to this account. So because it's following this account, which is me, I'll follow back now. So great news, the account is now attracted a follower. Only one, but every tweet that I send is potentially visible to prwilsonmedia. So I'll click on followers, and you can see there it now says follows you. That's the difference. So what happens at this point is now there's an ability to send what's called a direct message. So instead of just the tweets that go publicly being seen in the news feed, here under messages, anyone who you follow and they follow you back, you can send a private message. You can click here under messages. I'll say start a conversation. I'll type in prwilsonmedia, which will be the only option I've got. I'll click next and I'll say hi Paul, and you can see I've deliberately filled out a really long message, much longer than a standard tweet, and the good news is that you can keep sending messages like that. So imagine you've got a client inquiry or somebody that you're connected to you really want to follow up with for a business opportunity, whatever it is, you can send them a private message. Actually tell them on the tweet, can I direct message you? And then as long as you're following each other, that's perfectly possible, and then you can follow up with much more detail. So that's the process of going from people you follow suddenly starting to follow you and building that connection.